What's up, Brooklanders? Today I'm reviewing Barbie, starring Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, directed by Greta Gerwig. The big Barbenheimer, right? Everyone's been talking about it. Hey Jay, what you watching first? Barbie, Oppenheimer. Barbie, Oppenheimer. I'm watching Barbie first, okay? I know some people said vice versa. You go Oppenheimer first, and then because it's like sad, you're gonna cry and stuff like that. Oh no, I hate life. But then you watch Barbie, and you're like, oh wow, that's hilarious. I love life. But alas, I am watching Barbie first because my theater had an early showing, so here we are. I watched Barbie. I'm gonna talk about it. I am a huge Greta Gerwig fan. Little Women, freaking fire as hell. Love that movie. Lady Bird. Lady Bird's like, dude, one of like the best. Is it even not a rom-com? It's not a rom-com, it's just a com. One of my favorite coms maybe like ever. I love Lady Bird to death. I was really looking forward to this one. I love Margot Robbie. I love Ryan Gosling. As I said, Greta Gerwig, huge fan. And I really liked this one. The film stars Margot Robbie as Barbie and Ryan Gosling as Ken. And Margot Robbie starts having like these existential thoughts about death and all this crazy stuff. So she's got to go to the real world, the human world, to find out why. America Ferrera, she's here. She's doinking around. Simu Liu, he's a Ken. Emma Mackey, she's a Ken. Everyone's a Ken. Alexandra Shipp, Ken. No, she's not Ken. She's Barbie. Have I been saying they're all Ken? That's not true. One of the easiest things to say about the movie is that it is pretty funny. It is probably the funniest film of Greta Gerwig's filmography. All of the Barbies, all of the Kens, they all have some great moments, and that establishing few like 15-20 minutes of the film just taking place in Barbie land with all the Barbies and Kens, 10 out of 10. Speaking about 10 out of 10, Ryan Gosling? Are you kidding me? This dude is the standout of the film. He is so good. It's crazy. He's like so good too because he's playing a very comedy-based role, but on an acting level, the dude's still phenomenal because he doesn't think he's funny. He plays everything so seriously. Phenomenal character. One of the best of the year so far. Margot Robbie is terrific as always, Dadoy, and I think this movie, again, it gives her time and space to bounce around in that comedy sphere, a sphere that she doesn't jump around in too much, but it also gives us some great moments of dramatic acting where she's able to give a more nuanced and emotional, heartfelt performance, and she's phenomenal there too. You also have Will Ferrell in this movie as the Mattel business guy, right? It's a little jarring seeing him in this after seeing him as President Business, Lord Business in the Lego movie, because it is a very similar kind of role. And in fact, I think that it'd be hard to watch this movie and not like think about it. Maybe some people are even like, is this the same universe? It's not though. The moments of Barbie and Ken going to the real world are fine. The whole second act of this movie, I think, is probably the weakest, and it really serves to set up the third act of the movie, which I was surprised because, you know, you watch this movie and you think that that's going to be a huge part of the film, them going to the real world. It's really not. Like, probably 85% of this movie takes place in Barbie Land. Coming from Barbie Land, where the Barbies are everything and the Kens are just like kenning around, you know, all the Kenergy we've all been hearing about, her going from Barbie Land to the real world, it is this big shocking contrast because, you know, she's getting catcalled, all that bad stuff, and the patriarchy and the men and the toxic masculinity, all that stuff's there. And that brings me to a big point I kind of want to talk about this movie. This is a very big feminist film, right? I think to an extent all of Greta Gerwig's films have, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, by all means, I'm cool with it. I love a good feminist film. But I think that as far as, you know, conveying the themes and the messages that are good, important messages to convey, I think this one can be a little too on the nose with that. I just preferred how it was done in Little Women. That we all know that monologue that Saoirse has at the end of Little Women, that heart-wrenching and just beautiful and emotional and important monologue she has. One of my favorite pieces of acting from that year. I think that is a great moment, and I like what it says about feminism. Didn't think I'd be here tonight wearing my pink glasses and I Love Barbie pin talking about feminism. But here I am, like the video. But I think this one is a little too, I don't want to say preachy, but it's very direct. It is kind of like, there is this monologue towards the end of the film where it very much feels like this, you know, I'm staring at the screen, explaining things to you. I'm talking about this way too much. Point is, It's too direct. It's too direct. You know, again, as a dude, also, there are a ton of jokes about the bros, the dudes, the patriarchy. And I could understand if people left this theater being like, oh, like, it's too woke, too feminist for me. No way, Jose. That's not my wave. Fellas, look, fellas, I'm talking to you. We gotta learn to take a joke, okay? They're poking fun at us. It's funny stuff. I think the score is really good too, as far as the soundtrack. There's one piece of soundtrack early in the film that's kind of like a narration kind of thing I think is really funny, really effective. It does have a bit of a, I think, Return of the King kind of ending where, you know, it's like, feels like a 10-15 minute long ending. You know, also, as funny as the film is, I think that Greta Gerwig is phenomenal at seamlessly shifting tones to making a very interesting message and something that is very just heartfelt and very, you know, we can connect with it. There are a few moments that are very quiet and they bring things back. Those are the moments that I think that Greta Gerwig really shines as a writer and as a director. And as far as my tier list for the year, I would put it right around here. Wow, look at that. That's a great tier list. Review on Oppenheimer tomorrow. Let's run it.